Hi, Karla here, and welcome back to my channel where I like to find the fun and magic in everyday things. I feel like I've been given a mission to make a hair growth oil, and that's because I've decided to stop dyeing my hair and to let it gray naturally. Now, I have family and friends that are looking at this video right now going, what? Because I had always declared that I wouldn't do that until I was at least 75. But here we are. I just couldn't keep dyeing my hair every 3 weeks. That wasn't good for me. That wasn't good for my hair. So I made the decision, and so far, I'm okay with it. But what I'd like to do is speed up the process so that inevitable demarcation period is shortened. I want to get through it quicker so I can see my glittery metallic hair will come in faster. Now, just a heads up, this video is going to be about hair growth from the scalp. It's not about hair retention. That's the other necessary part if you're growing for increased length. Okay? So come on, let's get to our mission at hand. As with any mission, let's gather background information and clues. But let's talk about how hair grows. Hair grows in 3 stages. Now, the anagen stage, that's the active phase of hair. And that's where the cells in the root and the bulb of hair are dividing rapidly. And then they push that club hair up the follicle and eventually out. We grow about a ½ an inch of hair per month. And this growth period lasts between 2 to 7 years. And that's what actually determines the length of your hair. Now, of all the hair on your head, 90% of it is in the anagen stage. The catagen stage, now that's the transition stage where the club hairs actually form. And this lasts about 10 days. And only about 3% of your hair is actually in that catagen stage at any given time. And finally, there's the telogen stage. That's the resting stage or the shedding stage. And that's where the hair is completely formed. Now, this period lasts about 3 months. And this is where you'll see between 25 to 100 hairs will normally shed every day. So 6 to 8% of all the hair on your head is going through the telogen stage at any given time. So now we know if we want to increase hair growth, we want to promote a long, active anagen phase. So I decided to dig a little to find out exactly how to do that. So research has shown that hair growth increases with good blood flow to the hair follicles. For good blood circulation, the blood vessels in the scalp need to be nice and wide. We also want to nourish the follicle cells and reduce the impact of oxidative stress. And lastly, we want to strengthen the 2 sheaths that surround the follicle. It's important because these structures protect and form the growing hair shaft. So our mission, if we choose to accept it, is to make an oil with ingredients that increase blood circulation on the scalp, provide nutrients and oxidants, and strengthen hair follicles. Mission accepted. So I found wonderful ingredients for the hair growth oil that fit the bill perfectly. They all have multiple benefits, so I'll just highlight a few. The first is fenugreek. Because of its nicotinic acid, high protein, and lecithin content, it prevents hair loss by strengthening and hydrating the hair follicles. Next is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha produces high level of DHEA, which is a natural hormone that promotes hair growth and increases collagen synthesis, which provides scalp health. Nigella black seed. Its high concentration of an antihistamine called thymoquinone is thought to promote hair growth based on the fact that antihistamines have been used historically in the treatment of alopecia. There has been some research that said, yes, it does promote hair growth, but mostly it's been anecdotal. However, it does contain omega-3 and 6, which definitely encourages blood circulation, especially on the head, so I've included it in my oil. Rosemary has excellent vasodilator properties, meaning that blood flows more easily through the vessels. And research has shown that rosemary oil has been studied and found to increase hair growth similar to that of minoxidil. Amlas, concentrated vitamin C, and polyphenols produce collagen protein, which replace dead cells of hair follicles with new hair cells. Bacopa, or Brahmi, reduces cortisol levels, which are a major cause of hair fall. And it also balances sebum production, keeping your scalp from being too dry or too oily. Moringa is rich in amino acids, which are the building blocks of cells. And these amino acids activate dormant hair follicles. It's also a rich source of biotin. Now for my oils. I chose castor oil and avocado oil because they're heavy oils that will actually absorb well into the scalp and not just sit on the surface like a light oil such as coconut oil does. And we want to get all the benefits of these fabulous herbs to be really absorbed into our scalp for the maximum effectiveness. So let's make the oil. Now I'm using a two-step process to make the oil more potent and to be more shelf stable. The first step in making it more potent and shelf stable is by using alcohol as an intermediary. It's much easier than it sounds. So here's the basic formula. 1 ounce dried herbs, a half an ounce alcohol. I'm using 100 proof vodka to 8 ounces of carrier oil. I generously doubled this recipe because I wanted 16 ounces of oil after it had been filtered. To make the oil, I needed to finely grind or powder the dried herbs. I added equal amounts of each herb until it weighed about 2.5 ounces. And then I put it in a large jar. Then I weighed out and added about 1.25 ounce of vodka. And then I mixed it all together until it had the consistency of damp beach sand. I let that sit for at least 24 hours so that the alcohol can extract the alcohol-soluble properties from the herb. The next day, I added my oils. Stirred well and placed in a warm, dry place for at least 10 days. But as you can see, I let mine sit for weeks. I really wanted it to be more potent, and this is perfectly fine. Once it's ready, just strain. If you want it really clear, use a fine muslin cloth to remove all the sediment. If you like, you can also add essential oils for fragrance at this stage. I added a little tangerine essential oil to mine, and that's it. Okay, so now we have our oil. How do we use it? You can use it as an oil treatment by putting it on your hair and scalp and sitting under a heat cap for 30-45 minutes prior to washing your hair. What I do is, the night before I wash my hair, I leave the oil on my hair and scalp overnight. Then in the morning, I continue with my wash day routine. If you're interested at all in what I do on wash day, just let me know in the comments section and I'll do a video on it sometime in the future. Well, I hope I've shown you some great ingredients to make your own hair growth oil. You can mix or match or just use one ingredient. That's the beauty of doing it yourself. Science and a little intuition is truly magical. See you on the next adventure.